Okay, enough of that. Alright, ladies and gentlemen of the YouTube citizens, y'all know who this is. This is your boy True Inferno, and today's date is it is now Tuesday, November the 27th. So, as you can clearly see in my hands are both copies of Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, actually right here, and Pokemon Let's Go Eevee. And right over here, as I'm reaching for at this point in time, is the Pokeball Plus. Yes, that actually came with this bad boy right here, and then I picked this up separately. So, and I haven't even played this one yet, but I've been playing this one. But anywho, why am I talking about these items? Well, that's what this video is about. It's about those items along with the game, Pokemon Go. Yes, so we are talking about bringing over Pokemon for Pokemon Go all the way over to Pokemon Let's Go, whether it's Let's Go Pikachu or Let's Go Eevee. So yes, that's what we're talking about. I am not at that point yet where I reached Gold Park in the game, because in this game I've been shiny grabbing. And update for those of you who've been watching my live stream, yes, I did get in this game the shiny version of this Pokemon right here. Yes, I did get a shiny Pikachu. That did happen. That happened actually yesterday morning. So I'm really happy about that. I'm really happy to get that out the way. Now I'm really looking for a shiny Charmander. I'm actually gonna try that again. So yeah, there you go with that. Now before I get on with this video, I also want to point out that my beat album, the Kyoto Album Volume 6, Escaping Dust, will drop this Friday at midnight. So yes, head on over to trueinfront.bandcamp.com. That's where you can pick it up. It will only cost you $2. So that's it, at least $2. You can put more in if you want. I'm just throwing it out there, but at the very least you can just pick, just pay $2 to pick up the album. So if you're a fan of the music behind Samurai Champloo, if you're a fan of Nujabes, if you're a fan of Jay Dilla, then this is the beat album for you. So yes, pick up the Kyoto Album Volume 6, Escaping Dust, when it drops. I got 3 singles on my other channel, which is True Inferno, so you can get a taste of what the album will sound like when it drops again November 30th at midnight, only at trueinferno.bandcamp.com. There's no E in True, as always. Now let's get back to this video. So with all the promotional stuff out the way, we need to talk about the Pokemon you should be transferring on over to these 2 games, or at least one of these 2 games, whichever one you have. So yeah, let's talk about that. So the first thing I want to talk about is exclusivity. So what does that mean? Well, here's the thing. Not all 151 Pokemon are available in both of these games. Oh no! Yes, there are some missing from this version, and there are some missing from this version. So what are missing? Well, I'm about to let you know right now. So here what's missing from Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, and they are the following: Ekans, Arbok, Vulpix, Ninetales, Meowth, Bellsprout, Weeping Bell, Victory Bell, Coughing, Wheezy, and Pinsir. Alright, so now with that out the way, here's what's missing from this version of the game, Pokemon Let's Go Eevee. Sandshrew, Sandslash, Otis, Gloom, Vileplume, Mankey, Primate, Growlithe, Grimer, Muck, and Scyther. So, going back to the ones that are missing from Let's Go Eevee, you probably noticed, wait a minute, and actually from both games, you probably, wait a minute, Meowth is missing from one, Grimer missing from the other, but not their evolution forms. Well, there's this lady in one of the seasons in the game that you talk to, and she will give you the option of either getting a Persian or an Arcanine in both copies of the game. So yes, it is available there. So with that list out there, now you already know which Pokemon you want to transfer from Pokemon Go on over to Pokemon Let's Go, whichever copy you have, whichever one. So you can complete your Pokedex and get 151 or at least 150 Pokemon in your collection. Now let's talk about IVs. So IVs will play a heavy role in terms of what you want to transfer on over to Pokemon Let's Go. Now you gotta remember this: when you transfer Pokemon from Pokemon Go on over to Let's Go, whichever one, don't matter, they are stuck there. They will remain there. You cannot transfer them back. You cannot transfer new Pokemon that you caught from Let's Go on over to Pokemon Go. That's not how this works. This is a one-way transfer from Pokemon Go on over to the Pokemon Let's Go game. So you got to be careful when dealing with Pokemon with really good IVs. So the first thing I would say to you is this: do not transfer any meta relevant Pokemon that have really good IVs. So what I mean by that, I mean like Pokemon like Moltres, like Zapdos, like Articuno, like Dragonite, like Dratini, like Machamp, Machop, meta relevant Pokemon. Basically Pokemon that you will use, that you constantly use in tier 5 raid bosses and in EX raids. And Gengar is another one. Gengar, Haunter, and Ghastly. So anything that is meta relevant, you may want to do more digging in terms of those Pokemon to see whether or not you should transfer those over or not, whether they're shiny or not. You may want to pump the brakes on that. That's the first thing. The second thing you need to take into consideration are the what IVs they have. So anything that's 100% IV, that is meta relevant, that is, not do it. So for example, your boy got not one, but two 100% IV Moltres. Is there a plural form for that? But whatever. Anyway, I got two of those. One of them I powered up all the way to the max or close to the max. The other one I left alone. But guess what? I'm not transferring either one over. I'm not. Because at some point in time in the future, I may go, oh, Moltres is really useful in this particular raid boss. So I'm going to power up my other one. So I have two powered up hundos that I can use in these raid battles. There you go. Now, but at the same time, I also got two 100% IV Raticates. Now, Raticate is not meta relevant. So expect me to transfer one of those on over to Let's Go. More likely it'll probably be Eevee. But yeah, I'm going to transfer at least one of those on over to Let's Go. So something that is not meta relevant, and if you have an IV that is 100%, that's a Pokemon that's not relevant rather, whoo, what a tongue twister. Then yeah, you may want to transfer that over to Let's Go, especially if you have duplicates like I do. But anything that is meta relevant, no, you do not mess with those. Unless, and we go get to my next point, which is this. You got to, when it comes to IVs, you got to set a standard. So basically, for me, if I have a bunch of meta relevant Pokemon that have, all of them have good IVs, anything that is not over 93%, so we talk anything that is 93% or lower, I can look at it and say, you know what? I'm going to transfer them over to the game because their stats are good. They can be in my main party in the Pokemon Let's Go games. So yeah, why the heck not? So yeah, anything that is like 93.3% or lower, that's even including meta relevant Pokemon, especially if I have a bunch of those, then yeah, transfer those over. Like for example, I have a bunch of legendaries. So some of them will be transferred over. And all of them, for the most part, have IVs in the 80s, like 82.2% or higher. So yeah, some of those will be transferred over. So something like that, yeah, you may want to set a criteria. You could go higher, be like, okay, 98 to 100, I'm keeping everything else, I'm transferring over. Or it could be anything in the 90s, I'm leaving alone. Whatever setup or whatever criteria you want to set for yourself. For me, 93.3% or lower are eligible for me to transfer over to the Let's Go games. Anything higher than 93.3%, nope, you're staying put. Now, another thing you gotta take into consideration, the alone and exclusives. Now, here's the thing. In some cases in the game, there are like situations where you can talk to a non-playable character, an NPC, and they'll say, hey, you want to trade a Diglett for a Diglett? You want to trade Geodude for a Geodude? You want to trade a Rattata for a Rattata? That means they're going to trade you in a Alolan form. So, yeah, I will hold off on the Alolan forms until you get really far into the game. You talk to all the NPCs, see what they have to offer, because I don't know all the NPCs that will trade you Alolan Pokemon. I don't even know what all the Alolan Pokemon they would trade you in the game. But if you have like a bunch of them, yeah, knock yourself out. As long as any of them do not have really good IVs. Because like I said, for example, Alolan Golem is useful. So, in fact, that's probably like the only Alolan Pokemon that is useful. But you get the point. So, there you go with that. Alright, so now with that out of the way, there's one more thing we have to talk about, and that's shinies. So, yes, shinies. So, yes, there's a bunch of shinies in the game, obviously. And you can get shinies in these games as well. As I mentioned earlier, in this game, I'll call it the shiny form of this Pokemon right here. And that is actually my 5th shiny that I got in the game. So, I got a shiny Caterpie, and then I evolved it all the way up to a shiny Butterfree. So obviously talking shiny Metapod, then a shiny Butterfree. I also found a shiny Rito, and I evolved that all the way up. It was a shiny Kakuna, and now it's a shiny Beedrill. And lately, like I said, I found a shiny Pikachu, and I will be evolving it all the way up to a shiny Raichu. So there you go with that. And at this point in time, I'm looking for a shiny Charmander, even though I'm like at the beginning stages of that, and that's probably gonna take about like another week. But yeah, I'm gonna try and find one unless I get like a bunch for a community weekend this coming weekend. Then I'll probably be like, screw that search. I'm gonna transform one of those over. And that's what I want to talk to you guys about right now. Should you transfer shinies over? It depends on how many you have. So like for example, I got 29 shiny Eevees. I caught 29 shiny Eevees. Yeah, you can bet your carcass I'm transferring like what, 3 of those bad boys over? Or I'm gonna save myself the trouble and evolve them and hopefully get Gen 1 evolutions of those shiny Eevees. And then I'm gonna transfer those over to Let's Go along with 1 shiny Eevee. And then I'll be straight. But in my case, I only have like what, 3 or 4 shiny Charmanders. Some I evolved all the way up to Charizard, things of that nature. And I'm like, I do not have enough to transfer it over to Let's Go. I'm not doing that. Shiny Squirtle, I can transfer some over. Shiny Bulbasaur, I could probably transfer 1 over. But you get the point. You get the point. So it depends on how many shinies you have in Pokemon Go. That should determine whether or not you should really transfer any at all to shiny Let's Go. Because here's another thing you gotta take into consideration, like especially with the legendaries. There's some Pokemon that you want shiny form or regionals, and somebody else may have it and is willing to trade to you, but they want a shiny this, they want a shiny that. And the problem is you just transfer it over to Let's Go. You can't get it back. So you gotta take that into consideration as well. You gotta use some of these shinies for trade bait, because there's somebody out there who want that Pokemon that you have in your Pokemon Go game, and they're gonna trade you something that you want badly. So should you transfer it over to Let's Go, or should you keep it and hopefully in the future use it as trade bait? That's why you should determine what's a good number of shinies you should have before you decide, okay, I'm gonna transfer at least 1 over or more than 1 over, or whatever the case may be, because you could use some in the future as trade bait for a Pokemon that you may want badly. So take that into consideration as well. So that's basically it for this video. So basically in terms of which Pokemon you should transfer over to Pokemon Go, to Pokemon Let's Go, I already talked about the exclusive Pokemon, the ones that are missing from Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. So yeah, you can figure that out amongst yourselves. I mentioned about the IVs. For me, anything 93.3% or lower, I will be transferring over. Anything higher than that, nope, you're staying put. Also, the Alolan Pokemon, I will transfer some over, especially if I have a crap ton of them. Although I will be wary of Alolan Golem, because they do have some meta relevance. And I mentioned IVs already in terms of meta relevance. So yes, some you may want to hold off on, but others like that have 100 IVs but they're not relevant at all, yeah, knock yourself out. Why not? And then of course there's the shinies. You got to take into consideration, rapper. How many shinies do you have of that one specific Pokemon, and do you really want to transfer it over to Let's Go, or do you want to use it for possible trade bait to get something else that you really want? So you need to think about all of this before you make your decision to transfer Pokemon from Pokemon Go on over to these two, or one of these two games, or both of these games in my case. So I'm gonna call it a wrap. So with that said, y'all know who this is. This is your boy, the new Jay Gatsby, aka New Stephen A. Smith, saying peace out, y'all, and don't forget the Kyoto Tower Volume 6 drop this Friday at midnight. TrueInferno.bandcamp.com to pick that joint up, and I will see you guys next time. Yeah. After you subscribe to the channel, make sure you click the bell icon so you never miss a new video or a live stream ever again. Thanks, guys.
Living in a world where tomorrow's never promised. Last of a dying breed, rather find honest. Got me feeling like an onyx. My heart was getting hard till I looked to the sky. Say I'ma leave it to God and embark on this path. Journey of a lifetime. Everybody rhyme, but not a lot I co-sign. Define the mind's capability.